still have a long journey ahead of us. Let's press on. Why not savor this?
Hello. I received Chacona's memo. To think the head of the Thessalias approached you when I was still in negotiations with her emissaries. Was it meant to be a diversion all along? They invited you and you alone. As a Montelli, I'm in no position to intervene. That being said, if the Thessalias try anything against you, I'll get you out. Even if it means storming through their front gates. In the meantime, I'll keep looking for more information and the person Cartathea mentioned to you. I'll call you as soon as I find anything.
Got it.
Now, if you'll please, just follow me. One moment, please. I shall inform Milady of your arrival.
That won't be necessary. To keep our honored guest waiting would be most improper. Especially when it was I who extended the invitation. Cantarella Thessalia, 36th Matriarch of the Thessalia Family, Honorable Laureate, the new crown of the Carnival. Very well. If you insist, I see no reason to refuse. You may also call me Cantarella. Now, shall we proceed to my study? Why not savor this, Won't you have a seat? I hope you'll accept this tea as my way of apologizing for the incident with Gilberto. Members of the family may have troubled you, but there is no stain that can't be washed away. Every sorrow has its own way of fading, don't you think? You still hold a grudge? Won't you accept my apology?
This tea, is it from Jinzhou?
I invited you here to ask that you might serve as a mediator.
Before we get into that, there's something I want to know.
I imagine it concerns the Phasalia family's true beliefs. It would seem Gilberto's mind is beyond saving, but let's not dwell on that. What is your opinion on the current state of Raguna? So you've noticed something is amiss? As expected, from someone who's felt the weight of a Threnodian. And what exactly do you find most unsettling?
Why haven't the Threnodian and the Sentinel ever shown themselves?
Because the Threnodians' invasion of Raguna has long since concluded. The Threnodian, so named Leviathan, possesses the power to murder. Though the previous two attempts were thwarted, the tall mast of the galleon that is Raguna has all. Now the blissfully ignorant masses walk hand in hand toward an abyss they cannot see. Friend or foe? As a newcomer to this land, can you really tell them apart? Yes. And no. On one hand, there's the truth of the Order's beliefs. On the other, there's our family. The Threnodian doesn't take kindly to those who know the truth. We've always been under its whispers. Once the soul fractures, the mind will follow. Until now that we've come this far, there's nothing for me to hide. My only hope is that once you learn everything, you will carefully come. The truth you seek lies in the deepest part of the castle.
It's thick with dust. Hard to believe they're truly worshipping it. The aroma from these plants.
This is it. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Now that we're here, I'm afraid I can't let you leave. Just as I expected, the Threnodian took notice of you the moment you learned the truth. What you see in the sanctuary is the Sentinel in their true form. A majestic steed that galloped with the wind. Not a creature of the Order worships a half-horse, half-sea creature divinity. A form the Sentinel assumed only after being corrupted by the Threnodian. Although the Sentinel's will has yet to fade, who knows how much longer they can endure. I wish to ask you to persuade the Sentinel of Jinzhou, Jue, to come to Renacita, to save Imperator. In return, I will agree to whatever condition or request you make. I understand the position you are in. Were perhaps a stay at my estate would suit you, for I can offer you a glimpse into Renacita's past, and you'd be spared the orders.
There might still be a path forward. Carlotta once helped me interpret some stained glass images. The story it told was very similar to what you described, only more biased towards the Order. It mentioned a maiden who would emerge as the Sentinel's res. Do you think that's also a lie?
Care to elaborate? The part regarding the maiden isn't entirely fiction. The Sentinel does indeed appoint a maiden to be their resonator, though not in the way the Carnival would have you believe. No. It's through resonance with a very particular artifact. That's because Imperator wields the power to split and manipulate space. With it, they can withdraw a portion of power. That power's frequency will match the Imperator's own. This is how the Sword of Divinity, Turvin, came to be. A blade sealed with the very powers of the Sentinel, and the artifact used to select their to resonate with the sword is to resonate with the Sentinel. Only the Chosen One may hope to draw it.
And what about Cardathea?
Perhaps she resonated with the Threnodian. But choosing her could not. The maiden was already dead. In the past, each year the Thessalia family would though none succeeded. I was one of them. There was a moment where I glimpsed the Sentinel's. I also learned that only Turvin can break the barrier of that sonorosphere. When I awoke from that vision, I discovered a line of words inscribed onto my hand. I would never mistake my own handwriting. That is precise. The words were, "The maiden is dead."
An inverted ruin suspended in the sky. If Turvin is the key to entering the Sonarosphere, it stands to reason that Imperator may have played a role in the sphere's creation. If I can confirm that Turvin was truly left by Imperator, at least it would prove that neither are lying. Cantarella said she was overclocking when she tried resonating with Turvin. That's exactly what happened with Jinxi. Could Imperator... If that's the case, my permission should cause a reaction. That's one way to confirm what they're saying.
By all means. Rover, who are you really? The Sentinel's arbiter?
Well, I have some information and theories of my own.
Please, enlighten me. I would never have imagined someone already considered a martyr could still be alive. What surprises we Thessalians revere Imperator as our one true divinity. And yet, would it be more fitting to address you as Master? Then, I present my request. Are you willing to help rescue our Sentinel and pull Renacita back from the brink of chaos?
The only question now...
We can discuss it on...
So you are the one that Cardathia sensed wandering outside the Sonar...
A question that you already know the answer to. Why bother asking? Although being described as a jellyfish. There is a cable car in the lower levels of the Thessalia estate that leads directly to the Sonorosphere. The mechanism beside that wall can activate the lift.
Are all these mechanisms really necessary?
Convenience isn't the only reason for having them.
Why do the Thessalias have a cable car that leads directly to the Sonorosphere?
Before it became a Sonorosphere, it was a seminary known as the Avenolium. The martyred maiden once pursued her You seem perturbed. Are you still gathering your thoughts?
Everything that's happened has all lined up so perfectly. It makes me think it's too good to be true.
I'd like to share a different perspective. Rivers eventually converge into the same ocean. If a goal is mutual, then it's only a matter of time before they meet. Our choices and our will have led us to this situation. Not the wish. Fate.
Huh. You are quite different from what the rumors say.
Oh. And what rumors have you heard?
That you're a recluse? A mystic obsessed with the crafting of poison. Oh. And that you poisoned your predecessor. Those kinds of rumors.
A recluse? On the contrary, I've been searching for a solution to the Sentinel's plight, and rarely return to Renacita. After most of my leads fell short, a friend at Mingting in Huanglong introduced me to the stories they were telling of you.
A friend?
All the affairs of Huanglong's states eventually land in one person's hands. Would you care to take a guess at the identity of this friend of mine?
Why not put the other rumors to rest?
Because the rest of them are all true. I see it'll take more than that to rattle you, huh? I assure you, this is no jest. We Thessalians have lived under the Threnodians' whispers for generations. Once the soul fractures, the mind will follow, until only a puppet remains. When the soul of the ruling head falters, Thessalia tradition dictates that the successor usher them into eternal slumber, with a poison of their own making. My succession ritual? Well, an unforeseen incident gave rise to whispers that sparked those rumors.
How long has this been going on?
For centuries. Every generation. Outside, they call me the Bane. But historically, every head of the Phasalia family has carried such a title. It just so happens that I am the most potent one yet. We've reached the old seminary's undercrypt. The gateway into the Sonorosphere itself lies at its center. We shall continue on foot from here. Strange. This area was clear of tacet discords on my last visit. And there's no tacet field nearby. Could they have come from the Sonorosphere itself?
Didn't think there would be gull pups here.
Interesting. I've never seen, so the road ahead will not be an easy one.
What exactly happened here?
The second dark tide. It occurred right here at the Avenolium, the largest seminary ever built by the Order. It arrived on the very day the Blessed Maiden passed her trial and was crowned by the Order. A day when the leaf burned brighter than ever. And when the darkness came, none escaped. These days, what most people remember is the seminary disappearing into the sky. But in truth, the dark tide that should have spread across Rinascita vanished along with it. Yet due to a lack of records, the second dark tide slowly faded from memory. I was there when it all happened, still an... The gateway into the Sonorosphere is just on the other side of this bridge. This is the furthest I've ever managed to venture. Judging from the bits of information the Sentinel gave me, Turvin is the key to entering the...
Laureate. Greetings. I'm Carter.
Cantarella Phasalia.
Oh, a Phasalia.
I had the privilege of watching the Blessed Maidens perform. I'm rather surprised. After all, but you and I should be around the same age.
I'm also unsure of what's happened to me. This must be the sword of divinity. Turvin. The one with the...
You shouldn't have knowledge of this sword.
Memories flowed into my mind just as you entered the Sonorosphere, granting me information.
Cantarella said that only those who resonate with Turvin are granted...
Would you mind if I tried touching it? question of whose If I am not the Sentinel's resonator, then that must mean...
Don't jump to conclusions just yet. That doesn't...
Huh? This connection formed between...
Right now, you're the sole survivor of whatever happened that day.
As you spoke, I remembered the sword of discord, Hogness, and the sword of virtue, Haltia. Yes, placing the three swords on their respective pedestals should... But why would this information be revealed to me?
If we do nothing, well, instead of speculating, we should use the clues we've gathered so far.
Lady Maiden.
Please, Cartathea would suffice. I am...
I've waited. I will not turn back. If the thought of the final answer troubles you, then I suggest you step aside. Rover and I will take care of this matter.
Since you are willing, I underestimated your resolve. I'm sorry. Simply place Turvin on the pedestal behind me.
What you said to Cartathea...
Are you all right? The gravity that I believe it's to prevent them from falling to the... Tacit discords. The dark tide.
I imagine it's also a symbolic. This view matches with...
Until you get used to the gravity here, I suggest we travel via... It's the name I gave to a gondor.
This gone...
Oh dear. I completely forgot about this.
Greed will get you
I'm afraid foam was...
The two of you can...
You look distracted. Still thinking about what Cantarella said about fearing answers?
My powers are very weak, and many tacit discords roam the Sonorosphere. Thus, I've been limited in the areas I can explore. All I can do is sit here, lost in thought, trying to figure out who I am.
Are you afraid of knowing the answer?
We'll be arriving at the first water rise soon. A few details, if you don't mind.
Feeling nervous?
Of course. The last time I tried to pass it like this... Where were my manners? I can assure you that won't happen again. As for the rest of the way, I see it clearly now. Vines.
I can feel strong remnant.
The Order's remnant spot. I see now. The lingering rent to release it once we have the remnant.
Let me be there for...
I alone will decide.
The tides have whispered of your arrival.
Let me be there for...
I alone will...
The tides have whispered of your arrival.
If the Threnodian created the Dark Tide, maybe Abby can absorb it.
Abby is still unwell. More Dark Tide remnants. Good thing there isn't... Don't worry. This much I can... The vines are remnants of the Dark Tide. Foe won't be able to cross through them. wireless calibrators. One moment. That should do it. It's turning. Rotate the gravity calibrator to change the direction of the gravity's pull. If we use this, we should be able to reach areas we previously couldn't.
Moment of resonance. Strike from the shadows. I sense your weakness. Hopefully this helps.
Hurry. We need to purify the other statues before the Dark Tide's corruption returns. Sounds like Foam's getting impatient. Let's head back.
Wind guide me.
Did you feel any discomfort while we were clearing out the remnants?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I felt fine. I suppose this alone is not enough to determine whose resonator I am.
You've helped a lot. Don't worry about that for now. Another water rise is coming up. You planning to hold on to something?
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
By the way, you said the inverted gravity is to stop the Dark Tide from descending into the city. But all we've seen so far are just its remnants.
And that's because this very waterway we're sailing on used to be the Dark Tide itself. In these waters, obstacles ahead. Let's get off here.